Good day, folks. Here's an old rifle I got some long number of years ago now. When I got this rifle, it was in really hard shape. The stock was split. There was an awful lot of rust on the metal, and of course the bolt. The bolt wasn't functioning properly. Every time you closed the bolt, it used to fire, so it wasn't safe. So the condition it was in was pretty much garbage at the time. So what I did, I tried to salvage it as best I could. Cut off so much of the front forestock here that the big split was into, and I cut off back here what would be known as the semi pistol grip, and I cut some piece out of this here to make it longer, and also back here cut out a little bit just for the shape, be able to give you a little bit of a curve to it, so I didn't lose any length there. Put in a lot of brass into this gun to strengthen it up. A brass butt plate here, and of course a brass heel plate here, and a brass toe plate here as well to give it some extra strength. This here was steel at one point. It was very rusty when I got it, so I discarded that. It also had a steel trigger guard, and I discarded that. That was really rusty as well. The only reason I saved or wanted to save this rifle is because the barrel inside was really nice, I got to say. Mirror bright bore. Outside, of course, was a different story. To remove a lot of the rust would take a lot of the filing, and rather than just file it down where it was round, I decided to file it down and make it octagonal. I always liked the look of the guns from the 1800s that had octagonal barrels. Really nice rifles of that era. So it took a bit of time. It took me the whole winter one year, about 25 plus years ago. I filed down the barrel, cut out all of these pieces of brass, and inletted them into the stock. Here I cut the stock off, put in a piece of brass there for strength. There's a screw holds it there, and of course another one that comes down from the other side underneath the barrel, and that's the threaded end of that screw that keeps it on there. The screw comes down from here. These three screws in this side are all threaded into these bolts on this side. They're brass bolts that have been inletted into the stock, try to give it some strength. So then the screws on this side screw right into that and hold it together. Another piece of brass I put right here. Just give this piece of it a bit of strength as well. And this screw here is threaded into that from down underneath here. So it tries to hold together the old stock. Tried to salvage it as best I could. Bolt is just taken out now for this video. It used to have one takedown screw right here, but when I cut that much of the stock off, it wasn't holding it as good as I'd like it to. So I added another place right here. So there's two releases now to release the action from the stock. All I did was just weld on a little nut underneath the receiver here to accept the threaded end of this. That's about it. Homemade restoration, or Restomod I guess you'd call it, of a little rifle. It was never ever a high-end rifle. It was never ever real expensive, and most people probably would have thrown it away, you know, because it wasn't worth anything in the condition that I got it. I just tried to salvage it anyway and preserve it because it did have a really good bore. That's all from downtown Foxtrap this evening, guys. Take care. Bye.